It's said that at the end of our lives, we die twice. First time is when we draw our last breath, and the second time is when people no longer remember us. Mark it on the map so that we can refer it back to the...
John Brownlee is on a mission to find forgotten war veterans.
Well, we've got to find out if it's a male or a female.
At Williston Cemetery, north of Adelaide, John and his team have discovered 8 unmarked graves they believe belong to World War I diggers.
Let's have a bit of a look.
Yep. We've found approximately 115 so far in South Australia across, I think, 22 cemeteries so far. These men have long been forgotten. They've lost their identity, and so we seek to give them back that identity so that they will be remembered.
A veteran whose death is directly linked to war is eligible for a Commonwealth grave. As its name suggests, the Headstone Project recognises those who've slipped through the cracks.
A lot of these men died in the 20s and 30s when money was scarce, and quite often a grieving family was faced with the choice of either putting food on the table, paying the rent, or putting a marker on a loved one's grave.
Working out whether an unmarked grave belongs to a war veteran requires some detective work. It's a job well suited to volunteer Ian Hopley.
I served with the Victoria Police mostly as a detective for 32 years. We look for all persons born between about 1870 and 1900, which would have made them eligible for service during World War I. We then cross-reference that to the National Archives of Australia, the World War I Veterans Records, and we confirm whether they are the person buried in that grave.
But the hardest part of Ian's job is tracking down the diggers' living relatives.
We've actually tracked families down all around Australia in all our states. We've found family living in Holland. We've found families living in England, Ireland. We are always determined we will go to whatever lengths we can.
Hi.
Hello there.
Come in. Lovely to see you.
Netta Blatchford is one of the long-lost relatives tracked down by the Headstone Project.
That's all the details, and it's all our inquiries to date and how we found you.
Yep. Wow.
Netta's great-great-uncle, John Matz, is one of the veterans buried in an unmarked grave at the Williston Cemetery.
I don't know anything about why the grave was unmarked. His parents were both dead when he passed away.
So he went into the 32nd Battalion, which
Yep.
was a South Australian formed battalion, and went overseas in 1916. And
His identity is really important now because he was forgotten, and now he's not forgotten. And because he didn't have any children, which is why I'm here, because I'm his great niece. And I feel really happy that he's still got a story.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, how are you?
I'm well, lovely to see you.
Good, come through.
Thank you.
With only 8 members in South Australia and a shoestring budget, the Headstone Project is being helped by an unlikely quarter.
Mudlong Prison's always looking for new projects for meaningful engagement for our prisoners that reflect real-world skills in jobs when they get out.
Here's one that we poured last Thursday.
So the difference here is that this is something that has a greater meaning to the community and greater meaning to the prisoners that are actually involved.
Placing the headstones on the graves is backbreaking work, but John Brownlee says it's worth the effort. The Headstone Project hopes to expand across the country so that the graves of an estimated 25,000 forgotten veterans can be found.
If we don't continue this work, then ultimately these men's memory will be absolutely lost forever. I think that if we can give them that identity back, it's a legacy for Australia.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all the work you've done. It's just
been amazing.
I actually got quite emotional. I didn't really know that I would. I think what they've done is amazing, absolutely amazing. To finish someone's story for them, I think it's wonderful, wonderful project.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.